And we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Laura Cantu. I am so happy that you are here today for yet another live stream. Things are changing around here. We changed our live stream schedule. Surprise to anybody. We are no longer doing our English lives 1 p.m. on Mondays. The only change, I guess, is that they are taking place on Mondays at 3 p.m. They're still going to be taking place on Mondays, but it will no longer be at 1 p.m. It's now at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, hence why we are starting right now, 3 p.m. You couldn't really see that, but it is 3 p.m. and we are live, unless you're in, I don't know, California or a different state, a different country that has a different time zone. But if it is 3 around where you are, well, welcome. Doesn't matter. We're still going live. We're still sharing the information with you. I'm really excited. Today we are talking about, is the ACT right for your student? I will be breaking down everything you need to know about this exam and help you and your student, if you're a student watching this or a parent, understand whether or not the ACT exam is right for you, because believe it or not, there are some differences that set these two exams apart, the ACT and the SAT. And we recommend here at Best College Aid that students choose one of the two exams when, taking these types of standardized tests. It's easier to choose one exam and to stick to studying for that one exam rather than, just studying for both and, balancing your time out and kind of just studying for both and hoping for the best. It's easier to choose one, focus on that exam, put all your energy into that, and try to get the higher score for that specific tests. And there are ways to figure out which exam is better for you or your student, because there are differences between the ACT and SAT. Today I will talk about the ACT. I will also put a side-by-side comparison of the ACT and the SAT for students to kind of see, okay, so this is what one of them offers versus the other one. Maybe this test is for me, or maybe it's not. That is why I wanted to talk about these exams separately and specifically. In the past, I've done comparisons, but today we're just diving into the ACT, okay? And that is because this Saturday specifically, we have there is an ACT happening, as a matter of fact. October 23rd, which is this Saturday, this weekend, there's going to be an ACT. So if you are a student, good luck. If you're the parent of a student who is taking this exam, good luck to your student. I'm sure they'll do great. And speaking of you, let me know if you're here today, where you're joining us from, whether you are a parent or the parent of a student. I see that we have Dan Schrader visiting us again. Hello, Dan. Thank you so much for being here today and for coming back. And in the chat, if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, write in the comment section whether you are a parent or a student. And if you are a parent, let me know what grade your student is in, or if you're a student, let me know what grade you are in, because I definitely would like to see, what type of audience we have today. Earlier today, we had our Spanish live stream. So there was a lot of people. So if you're joining us here today from that live stream, let me know, say hello, let me know that you're back, because that'd be great. We're doing 2 live streams nowadays. So it's going to be Spanish at 1 p.m. and English at 3 p.m. So I just wanted to remind you all that this change was happening, and I am excited for this. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out with your schedule, and really excited to have you here today. Once again, today we are talking about whether or not the ACT exam is right for your student, or if you're a student watching this, if the ACT is right for you. We have Francisco in the chat. Remember that Francisco is monitoring and answering questions, because throughout these live streams, we do get a lot of questions that happen, while we are giving the presentation. So Francisco will be monitoring the chat, monitoring the questions, and, making sure that if I miss something, he gets to answer it. We have Dagmar Peraza on Facebook joining us today. She says that she is a parent. She's a mother. All right. So you have students. You're the parent of a student. So this specific live stream will be good for you. It's good to know these type of things so you can help your students out, maybe help them figure out resources that they can do to prepare for these exams. So welcome, Dagmar. Really excited to have you here. And don't forget that these presentations stay on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you can't watch this right now, or you want to share with someone who might be at work, or if your student is in class, these live streams are always, they stay posted on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can always but share this with somebody. And you can also write a question even after the live stream is over, and we will answer it. As a matter of fact, do you have any questions? If we don't get to answer any of your questions throughout this live stream, this is the email that you will send your questions to in case I don't get to answer your questions. Or if you want to talk about something, if you want to maybe join Best College Aid but you have some questions, or you just have any concerns, whatever it is, if you need anything, send us an email at support@bestcollegeaid.com. We often do our support through there, and that's the best email that you can reach us out. You can also send us a direct message on Instagram, or comment below this video, whether you're on you're on YouTube or on Facebook, but make sure that you use this email if you have any questions, all right? Alrighty, and don't forget that we have live streams tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we're going live on Instagram and TikTok, 1 p.m. for Spanish and 3 p.m. for English, okay? Really excited to have you here today. Once again, welcome. Today we're talking about the ACT exam. So now that we have a lot of people here, why don't we get started? So, is the ACT right for your student? First off the bat, what is the ACT? The ACT is a multiple choice pencil and paper test created and administered by the ACT organization. All right, so ACT, basically, it's a standardized test that a lot of universities, not all of them, because there's actually universities that are optional schools, or they don't require any test scores at all. They're test blind, yada, yada, yada. So not all universities require students to submit either the SAT or the ACT, but some do require to submit at least both one. And the ACT is one of the standardized tests. The other one is the SAT. But the ACT is the other one, and today we're focusing on that one. This one is administered by the ACT organization, so it's not administered by the College Board or anything like a lot of like the AP exams are. This is its own organization, and the ACT is a lot of people prefer the ACT over the SAT because of the science section, because of the optional essay. The ACT does have an optional essay section, unlike the SAT that no longer offers that. The ACT has a science section, whereas the SAT does not. So there are some differences, and in a little bit I will put them side by side. But in like an overview level, both exams are pretty similar in the sense that they're standardized tests. They're used to determine whether a student will get in. Obviously, it's not the only deciding factor, but it is something that most universities use to make that decision. Remember that when applying to colleges, schools not only look at grades, they look at extracurriculars. Some look at standardized tests like the ACT. Some they look at extracurricular activities. They look at leadership positions, awards, jobs, etc. So it's not like grades are not the only thing that matter. Hence, also, it's important to mention that standardized test scores are not the only priority. Remember that colleges look for well-rounded students, that were leaders throughout high school, students that, had good grades, students that took the time to practice for standardized tests. So overall, it's better to be a well-rounded student that, make sure to make sure to get good grades, practice extracurriculars, practice and study for ASAT, ACT exams. Then just be the type of student who got really good grades but did no extracurriculars, didn't study for the ACTs, and really just focus on grades, because schools want students that, not that do it all, but, if they have any strengths, that they really showcase those strengths, right? But also stay on top of other things. Yes, the ACT is a standardized test, a multiple choice exam that some schools use to determine, or, they use it to see whether or not they're going to accept a student into that university. So when should students take the ACT? All right, so most high school students take the ACT the spring of their junior year or the fall of their senior year. Now, here at Best College Aid, we recommend that students take the ACT for the first time, no later than second semester of junior year. So junior year being, that second semester. So, there's students that take it first semester junior year, but we recommend that if you're going to take, or if your student's going to take the ACT for the first time, that they do it before or during their second semester of junior year. Of course, there are, students should be starting to study and to learn test-taking skills from freshman year. There are resources. As a matter of fact, inside of Best College Aid, we have an ACT online prep account that a lot of our students use, and they activate it, their sophomore year of high school, and it's a 1-year online prep account that students can activate and that they can use to prepare for the ACT. We recommend that students start studying freshman, sophomore year of high school, and that they take that ACT their junior year of high school, second semester. It's always a good time to study. It's always a good time to prepare. Earlier today during the Spanish live stream, we were talking about, the ACT and the SAT, standardized tests in general. A lot of the information, that a lot of the things that students get tested on, it's content that they will learn, up to that junior year of high school. There's a math, English, writing, reading. There's a science section for the ACT. And this is all content, critical thinking that, is taught in the classroom from freshman year, or if the student did some advanced classes in middle school, content that is also learned there as well. So we recommend that students, if they are learning something freshman year, that they always go back and study, specifically in those math classes, reading, the English classes, writing. They always go back and study the content that they learn in the classroom, because a lot of this is things that are going to come up in the ACT or the SAT as well. And of course, to use and to take advantage of free resources, to take advantage or invest into a good resource like an ACT online prep account, like the one we have inside of Best College Aid, or, maybe getting a booklet, maybe getting, finding some free practice exams online, etc. It's always a good time to study, and we recommend that students start studying earlier rather than later, because, also knowing whether, last week we talked about early action, early decision, and if the students know that they want to apply early action or early decision or just any sort of early application, they definitely should be, studying for those tests, those standardized tests early on, earlier in their high school career, because you have to send out those applications early, so it's better to get the ACT or SAT out of the way early, so they have that application ready. All right, so that is when students should be taking the ACT. Another thing to note is, how is it scored? Well, the ACT is, as I mentioned, there is 4 sections for the ACT, and each section of this exam is scored on a 1 to 36 point scale, and each, as I said, each section is scored individually, and then at the end, the 4 sections, there's an average. They take the 4 sections and average it out, and that will be your final score, your student's final score. And as I mentioned earlier, there is an optional writing test that receives a completely separate score. So the writing portion of the ACT is not factored into the application, like into the main score, the composite score. It's its own grading scale, and students don't have to take the writing section. It's optional. Not all students decide to take it, so it's up to the student whether or not they want to take the ACT with writing or the ACT with no essay. Okay, so which takes me to my next point. Now I'm going to compare the ACT and the SAT. I know today we're talking about the ACT, but I do want to kind of break them down. And so students start to see, or if you're a parent, to see, okay, well, maybe this would benefit me more, or maybe this one sounds like I would like it or thrive more by taking this exam rather than the other one. Okay, so ACT, as I mentioned, is scored on a scale of 1 to 36, whereas the SAT is scored on a scale of 400 to 1600. So they're scored differently, but that is not the biggest difference. The biggest difference you can start to see, you start noticing them is the sections, right? ACT has an English, math, reading, science, reasoning section. So there are 4 sections, whereas the SAT has 3 sections, which are reading, writing and language, and mathematics. So that science section is a big deciding factor for a lot of students, And the content seen inside the ACT, like the math questions, they're more critical thinking that there are. It's not as much as, physics or really hard science, biology. It's more critical thinking questions. But there are students who feel more comfortable with these types of questions, this type of content, and which is why, they choose to take the ACT, because they feel like if they were to get a really high score on the science section. Remember, the ACT, they take each specific section and average everything together at the end. So let's say your strongest suit is not, your students, they're not really good at math, but they're really, good at science. So in their math section, they get like a 28, but then in their science section, they get a 35, and then reading and writing, they do well. They get like a 32. Those higher scores are going to bring that 28 average, they're going to kind of bring the whole composite score a little bit up, right? So maybe if you feel like, or if your student feels like maybe they would thrive or do better in the science section, and they just need to work a little bit on the other section and just practice to get a good score on either English, math, or reading, maybe the ACT is better for them. But on the other hand, let's say you have a student who might not feel as comfortable with, the science section. They know they take a practice exam and they realize, what, this is not for me. Maybe they should consider not dedicating and focusing their time on taking the the ACT, but going into the SAT, right? All right, so another big difference is the time. Well, it's not that different, but it is something to consider. The ACT without the essay portion, the total time is 2 hours and 55 minutes, whereas the SAT is just a 3-hour exam. And if the students do decide to do the ACT with the essay section, that will be 3 hours and 40 minutes. So it is something to consider. It is something that some students rather, take exam and, they don't care if it's fast. They just want to get it over with. Whereas some students are okay with having more time per questions, or more time to just take the test. They don't feel as pressured. So that is something that your students might want to look into. Look at the different times, the time per question, the time per section for each exam, and figure out which one's better for you, right? Okay, and another difference is, big difference, especially for people who are not good at math, or if you're more comfortable with a calculator, is for the ACT exam, students can use a calculator on all of the math questions. And on the SAT, students can use their calculator on some questions. So In other words, ACT, students are allowed to use a scientific calculator for all of the questions. And the SAT has a section that's specifically no calculator section. So that's a big difference too. So if you're a student who, doesn't feel comfortable with not having a calculator, or who doesn't really mind not using their calculator, who has a really strong, knowledge of math, or who's, doesn't really mind, considering these things might be good, right? To figure out. So it's important to look at the differences between these two exams, and as a student, if you're a parent, just figure out which exam is best for you. Looks like we had a bit of a problem. Let me know if we are back live. All right, so our internet got cut off for a little bit, but it looks like we're back. All right, so we're talking about the ACT. Sorry about that, technical issues, but we're back. As I was saying, it is better to focus on one exam and dedicate your time and effort, or your student to dedicate your time and effort into preparing for one test, okay? So now I'm going to give you some tips on how to choose if the test, if the ACT is right for your student, or if you're a student watching this, how to figure out whether or not the ACT is right for you, okay? So the first thing I recommend is to take practice tests, right? Taking practice exams, there are free practice exams online. As a matter of fact, if you go either on the SAT website or the ACTs, they have downloadable practice exams. So I 100% recommend to download these exams. They usually come with the answers attached to them and an explanation for the written response questions, etc. So download those exams, take the time out of a Saturday or a Sunday to take a mock practice exam, and see how you do at the end. Go back and figure out, what, this section I really didn't know anything about, or, just try to figure out which exam is the best for you. So definitely print out and take practice exams. Another way is to consider the science sections, right? Or just the sections that these exams offer. The ACT, since we're talking about the ACT, has a science section. Is that something that your student would do well in? If you're a student watching this, is this something that maybe you could take advantage of and try to get a perfect score so that your average can be brought up? Or do you think maybe this would actually bring my average down because I'm not really good at science or just critical thinking? Research what type of questions are in this science section, because as I said, it's not something super hard and technical. It's just a specific way they want to test out how you see things, how you fix problems or solve problems. So definitely look at mock questions for the science section and figure out whether this is something that you would do well on or not. Sorry. And another thing to consider is consider the calculator policy. As I mentioned, the ACT, in the ACT, students can use their calculator for all of the math questions, whereas the SAT, they can use it for just the calculator section. So definitely consider this. This is something that, it might be small to some students, but it might be a big deal to others. So definitely think about that. And additionally, consider time per question. I said this earlier. For one exam, students get more time to answer the questions, whereas in the other one, they might get, less time per question or less time per section. So if you're the type of student who doesn't like to work under pressure or who likes to do things quickly, this is something that you might want to consider, all right? So those were the basically tips to know if the ACT is right for you or your student. Additionally, I do want to mention, since we are talking about the ACT exam, I know I showed you guys this in the beginning of the presentation, but these are the test dates for the ACT for this school year, all up until July 16th of 2022. Of course, there will be more after that, but these are all the test dates that will be available for the ACT exam until then. We do have a test coming up this Saturday. So if you're a student or a parent and your student is taking this exam, let me know in the comment section. Additionally, I definitely want to, remind you that in order to register for these exams, There are regular deadlines, there are late deadlines. There is a deadline to register for this. Students do have to sign up for these exams, and there is a fee as well, which, there are ways to waive this fee. So not every student who takes the ACT or SAT or signs up for these exams has to pay a fee. They are, as I said, there are ways to, receive a fee waiver, so you can take this exam basically for free or for a reduced price. And we go all over this, like inside of Best College Aid. It's something that we explain inside the course. So definitely, if you want to learn how to, receive these fee waivers, or if you want to just have a free ACT online prep account, since we are talking about the ACT, inside of Best College Aid, we actually our members have access to one free 12-month ACT online prep account. This is one of the many benefits that we have inside of Best College Aid. We have students who, are members, and we help them on their road to college. And, one of the biggest steps, as I said in this presentation, is preparing for standardized tests, which is why we have a deal, we have an agreement, and we partner with the ACT organization, and every member, every family that joins Best College Aid receives a free 1-year account for ACT online prep that helps students prepare for the ACT exam. So, which takes me to my next point. If you're here today, if you are watching this live stream, we are actually having a sale. We are doing a $600 sale, $600 off sale, because it is the college application month. There are a lot of things happening in the college application world, especially if you're a senior. Early decisions coming, early actions coming. This Saturday we have our an ACT, the last ACT for students who are applying early decision or early action. This is their last chance to take it. So it's a big month, which is why we decided to have this huge sale, $600 off for your family to join Best College Aid, so you can help your students prepare for that road to college. If you want to join Best College Aid today, all you have to do is click on the link in this video. So underneath this video, you can see right there, this is the live stream. All you have to do is scroll down, and you can see on click more. All you have to do is click this link, and you will be taken to the sales page, where you will be redirected to our sales page where the coupon is, the discount is already included. You're going to click join today, and this will automatically take you to our sales page where the $600 coupon discount is already added, and you can join Best College Aid today. Remember that this course, our course usually costs $997, but because you're here today, we decided to give you a $600 coupon, $600 discount. So definitely join Best College Aid so you could take advantage of all the amazing resources that we have. Not only do we have that free ACT online prep account, we also have every member that joins Best College Aid has access to our lifetime access to our Best College Aid membership, where there are over 80 step-by-step video tutorials full of information for students since students are in middle school. We also have videos for parents and students who are in high school. We have a section that is just for parents and students. We have a life in college section. So we really take the whole application process and we organize it in a way that is not only organized in chronological order, but we also have information that is, very to the point, very organized and very informative. We have a whole tutorial on how to fill out the FAFSA, how to fill out the CSS profile. We have a section on how to write college essays, how to improve the supplemental college essays, etc. So we have different information, different tutorials, all inside of Best College Aid. Additionally, people who join Best College Aid get access to downloadable attachments like files, spreadsheets, online calculators, and scholarship search tools. So by joining Best College Aid, students will have access to by joining Best College Aid today, students will have access to all of this. You get unlimited online support. So Yeah, if you have any questions, you have unlimited support 24/7. If you can ask us any questions inside of Best College Aid. If we had parents last week who were filling out the FAFSA, and they just sent us a direct message saying, listen, we have trouble in this question. Can you help us out? And within an hour, less than an hour, we were able to answer them, and they submitted the FAFSA that day. There's also an online Facebook private community where there are hundreds of other students and parents who might be going through the same situation as you are and who are going through this process with you. So those are all of the benefits that we have inside of Best College Aid. So if you want to join, if you want to take advantage of this sale that we have going on right now, remember, all that you have to do is go to the click underneath this video, underneath this live stream, and click on interested in joining Best College Aid today. Click on this link. You will be redirected. Click on join today, and you will be taken to the sales page where you can join Best College Aid today. So don't miss out on this amazing opportunity, and hopefully you can join Best College Aid, because we really want to help you. We really want to guide you through this process, which at times I know can be a little stressful or a little overwhelming. So we have organized all the information in a way that it will make sense to you and will help your family. All right, so that was my pitch. That was my invitation for you to take advantage of this sale. Click on the link below this video. And remember that this offer expires until Wednesday night. So you have until Wednesday to take advantage of this discount. So I hope that you do. I hope that you join the Best College Aid family. I also wanted to let you know that our live stream schedule will be changing. For example, today we're going to be going live at 3 p.m. on Mondays. So before we did it at 1 p.m. Now we're doing it at 3 p.m. So hopefully, this time works for you. And tomorrow we will also be going live on Instagram and on TikTok at 3 p.m. In English. And we also go live in Spanish. So if you want to come back for other live streams, you're more than welcome to. Always remember to share this video, share this information with people who might benefit from this, right? We want to help as many people navigate this process, which at times can be very scary. So share this video with somebody who might need it. And subscribe to our channel if you like this video. And if you're watching this on Facebook, share this with somebody who might need it, because there are a lot of people out there who are confused about this journey, and what we want to do is help them out, okay? So I also see that Emily Cantu is here saying hello. Hi, Emily. How are you? We have the same last name. That is so funny. Welcome to our live stream. I hope you found this information useful. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Our live stream stopped at one point, but it seems to be working again. Hopefully we don't have any problems anymore. I also want to invite you to subscribe and follow us in all of our social media, because we do give a lot of very valuable information there too. And remember, if you have any questions, to send us an email at support@bestcollegeaid.com. We will be live again tomorrow on Instagram and on TikTok, and we will be back again next Monday, 1 p.m. in Spanish, 3 p.m. in English. And if we don't have any more questions, I know that Francisco was answering questions in the chat. Thank you so much, Francisco. It was really helpful. If we don't have any more questions, I will see you again tomorrow on Instagram and on TikTok. I hope this live was helpful for you, and hopefully this schedule change didn't mess you up too much. I will be updating our other social media and reminding people about these live streams. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here today. Don't forget, if you're taking the ACT this weekend or next month, good luck to you. If your students are taking it, good luck to your students. Best of luck. And don't forget to take advantage of this amazing sale that we have going on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And I will see you again tomorrow or next week. Have a great one.